Identify wildlife. Your wildlife identification skills must be excellent if you are a regular hiker. It is also good if you are hunting and may offer you personal protection from wild animals that you may not be used to dealing with. In order for you to correctly identify animals and plants, you must practice and use guides for wildlife identification. Animals that are considered wildlife are the ones who do not rely directly on people for survival. Some of these animals include bears, deer, ducks and more. Here are some tips on wildlife identification. When you are trying to identify wild animals, there are some things that you can observe. First is the sex or age of the animal. The second is noting where you found the animal, and the sound that it produces. The third is the animal's habitat. These factors will all help you identify the kind of animal you are dealing with. You should take care to not harm any endangered species you may come across. There are other things you can observe to help you identify the wild animals. Some of these are the foods that they eat, their tracks or footprints, their droppings, and their general appearance. It is good to do research and take a look at pictures of animals that you may see in your local forest or national park. One tip for researching is to check the wildlife that is local to your area. This will give you an idea on where to start. Some of the more common animals that you may encounter in North America are moose, elk, coyote, fox, wolf, grizzly bear, rabbits, weasels and more. When you do your research, focus on the animals that you are most likely to see in your area. Know the family they belong in and also their specific names. This way, it will be easier for you to identify these animals when you see them. When you are on a hunting trip, a wilderness adventure, or on safari, one thing that you can bring are binoculars. You can use them to observe animals without disturbing their habitat or intruding upon their turf. You can also bring a video camera to take videos of the species that you see. By doing this, you can identify the animals at home if you're not able to do so in the field. When you are out on a wilderness trip and you come across an animal that you are not familiar with, it is best not to interact with it. Be especially careful with bears, foxes, coyotes, and wolves. Do not taunt, feed, or touch the animals. Wild animals can be very territorial and they do not hesitate to take action if they feel invaded. These are some of the tips you can use in wildlife identification. Learning how to identify different species is good. especially if you are planning to have a career in wildlife preservation or as a tour guide.